Have you ever walked into a room feeling great, only to have someone's negativity suck the energy out of you like a vacuum? It's like they carry a storm cloud over their head, and if you're not careful, you're caught in the rain too. But here's the truth: you have more control than you think. Today, I'm going to show you not only how to handle negative people, but how to thrive even in their presence. And by the end of this, you'll walk away equipped to protect your energy, inspire change, and make your environment work for you, not against you. Are you ready? Negativity is often misunderstood. When we encounter someone who exudes it, our natural response might be frustration, defensiveness, or even hurt, especially if their attitude seems directed at us. However, what's crucial to realize is that negativity is rarely a reflection of who you are. It's almost always a mirror of the struggles they are carrying within themselves. This understanding is a game changer. It shifts your perspective from taking things personally to seeing the bigger picture. Think about it: when someone lashes out, criticizes, or complains excessively, there's usually a deeper reason behind their behavior. Perhaps they're dealing with personal challenges, unresolved trauma, or a lack of fulfillment in their own life. Negativity often stems from fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown. It can also be rooted in insecurity, where people feel the need to bring others down as a way of elevating themselves. And sometimes it's simply about unprocessed pain. They've been hurt, and without realizing it, they project that hurt outward. Understanding this doesn't mean you condone or excuse their behavior. It doesn't mean you accept disrespect or allow their negativity to overshadow your own sense of well-being. But it does mean you can approach the situation with empathy rather than hostility. Instead of reacting emotionally, you can respond rationally. This shift in perspective helps you stay grounded and prevents you from absorbing their negative energy as your own. Consider a storm cloud. When you look up and see dark clouds gathering, you don't take it personally. You don't yell at the sky for being overcast. You simply acknowledge that the weather is what it is and adjust accordingly. Maybe you carry an umbrella or decide to wait out the storm. Negative people are like those storm clouds. Their behavior is about what's happening in their atmosphere, not yours. Recognizing this allows you to step back and respond with clarity instead of frustration. This approach also gives you a unique opportunity to lead by example. When you don't react negatively to their negativity, you demonstrate emotional strength. Your calmness becomes a model of how to navigate challenges with grace. Over time, this can even influence them, showing that there's a different, healthier way to engage with the world. So the next time someone's negativity threatens to pull you down, pause for a moment. Remind yourself that their attitude is likely a reflection of their inner struggles, not a statement about your worth. Approach the situation with a mix of understanding and self-respect. When you shift your mindset in this way, you free yourself from the weight of their negativity and empower yourself to stay in control of your energy, mood, and focus. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to maintain your peace when dealing with negative people. It's not about shutting people out or being harsh. It's about protecting your energy and creating a space where you can thrive without being dragged down by someone else's negativity. Think of boundaries as gates, not walls. A wall blocks everything out, while a gate allows you to decide what comes in and what stays out. It's a practice of self-respect and emotional intelligence. Many of us struggle with setting boundaries because we fear conflict or worry about hurting someone's feelings. But here's the truth: boundaries are not about them, they're about you. They're about ensuring you have the emotional bandwidth to stay grounded and focused on what matters most. Without boundaries, negativity can seep into your life like water through cracks in a dam, eroding your sense of balance and peace over time. Boundaries prevent that from happening. When someone is consistently negative, their energy can be draining, even toxic. They may not realize how their attitude affects you, but that doesn't mean you have to endure it without limits. By setting boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, but also showing them that certain behaviors are unacceptable. It's an act of kindness to both parties because it fosters healthier interactions in the long run. Setting boundaries requires clarity and communication. First, you need to recognize what behavior crosses the line for you. Is it constant complaining, unsolicited criticism, emotional outbursts? Once you identify what drains you, you can address it directly but with compassion. For example, if a colleague constantly brings negativity into conversations, you might say, I understand you're going through a tough time, but I'd appreciate it if we could focus on finding solutions rather than dwelling on the problems. This approach acknowledges their feelings without letting their negativity dictate your environment. The key is to be firm yet kind. Firmness ensures your boundaries are respected, while kindness keeps the interaction from escalating into unnecessary conflict. Remember, you're not trying to change the person, you're simply changing how their behavior affects you. Boundaries are not about control, they're about self-preservation and mutual respect. Over time, as you consistently uphold your boundaries, something remarkable happens. Negative people either start to respect your limits and adjust their behavior, or they naturally begin to distance themselves because your energy no longer aligns with theirs. In either case, you win because you've taken control of your environment. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you stop caring about others. In fact, it often allows you to care more effectively because you're no longer overwhelmed or resentful. You have the emotional capacity to offer genuine support when it's needed, rather than being caught in the whirlwind of someone else's negativity. It's not selfish to protect your peace, it's essential. Boundaries are an act of self-love that enable you to show up as your best self, no matter what kind of energy surrounds you. Handling negativity requires a shift in mindset, and one of the most transformative shifts is deciding to be the thermostat rather than the thermometer. A thermometer reacts to the temperature, it rises and falls based on the environment. A thermostat, however, sets the temperature. It defines the atmosphere rather than being defined by it. This analogy is a powerful way to think about your role when faced with negativity. Will you let the energy of others dictate your mood and reactions, or will you take charge and set the tone? Negativity can be contagious, but so can positivity. When you choose to embody positivity, you influence the environment around you, often without even realizing it. The problem is that negativity tends to be louder, it demands attention, drags others into its orbit, and can feel overwhelming. But as the thermostat, you have the power to counterbalance that energy. By staying calm, grounded, and optimistic, you create a space where negativity struggles to take hold. This doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't, or dismissing real challenges. It's about choosing how you respond and ensuring that your response uplifts rather than spirals. For instance, when someone is venting about their frustrations, it's easy to get swept up in their energy, agreeing with their complaints or adding your own. But if you stay centered, you can acknowledge their feelings while gently steering the conversation towards something more productive or positive. This simple shift can change the entire dynamic. Being the thermostat also involves emotional resilience. Negative people often try to pull others into their mindset, whether intentionally or not. They may criticize, complain, or project their frustrations onto you. If you're not careful, you might absorb their negativity and start to feel drained or even mirror their behavior. When you decide to set the tone instead, you shield yourself from that influence. It's not about ignoring their feelings, but rather maintaining your own emotional stability no matter what. One of the most effective ways to set the tone is through your demeanor. Positivity isn't just about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. A smile, a warm tone, or even the simple act of listening attentively can shift the energy in a room. Your presence becomes an anchor, grounding others even when they're caught in their own storm. Sometimes being the thermostat means walking away or disengaging from negativity when it becomes too overwhelming. This isn't a failure, it's a choice to protect your energy and stay aligned with your values. When you return to the situation, you do so with fresh perspective and renewed positivity. Ultimately, being the thermostat isn't just about managing negativity, it's about leadership. It's about showing others that there's a better way to navigate challenges, one rooted in optimism and self-control. By setting the tone, you not only protect your own peace, but also inspire others to rise above their negativity and embrace a more positive outlook. One of the most powerful tools in dealing with negative people is the ability to redirect conversations. Negative people often thrive on venting their frustrations, focusing on problems, and highlighting what's wrong. If you allow those conversations to linger in the realm of negativity, they can drag you down as well. But by gently guiding the conversation towards more constructive or uplifting topics, you regain control and steer the energy in a more positive direction. This is where the art of redirection becomes a game changer. Redirection doesn't mean avoiding the person or dismissing their feelings. It means shifting the focus in a way that prevents the conversation from spiraling into complaint after complaint. You can acknowledge their struggles without feeding into them. For example, if someone begins to complain about their job or personal life, instead of joining in with your own frustrations or simply listening passively, you might say something like, "I hear that things are tough right now. What's something you think could make it a little better?" This not only acknowledges their pain, but also gently nudges them toward a more solution-oriented mindset. Sometimes the redirection is as simple as changing the subject. If the conversation has become entirely centered around negativity, you can gently introduce a new topic of interest. Ask them about something positive in their life, something they enjoy, or something they've accomplished. This is a subtle way to shift the energy without invalidating their feelings. The key is to find common ground that allows for a more balanced discussion, one that doesn't solely revolve around problems. At times, it may be necessary to provide a counterpoint, but doing so in a way that invites reflection rather than confrontation. For instance, if someone is fixating on the difficulties they're facing, you could share a personal story of overcoming a challenge or introduce a perspective that encourages resilience. The goal here is not to minimize their struggle, but to subtly offer an alternative way of looking at it. You might say, "I understand how frustrating that must be. I've had moments where I felt the same way, but what really helped me was focusing on small steps I could take toward improvement. It didn't solve everything right away, but it gave me hope." Redirection also requires a level of emotional intelligence. You need to be aware of the other person's mood and understand when they're open to shifting gears and when they need space to vent. It's not about forcing positivity into the conversation, but about being mindful of how much energy is being invested in negativity. By offering a redirection, you create a balance between empathy and self-preservation, ensuring that you're not absorbing the weight of their negative energy. Moreover, redirection empowers both you and the other person to break the cycle of negativity. When you consistently bring the conversation back to a place of solutions, possibilities, or positive aspects, you model a healthier way of thinking. Over time, those around you may begin to recognize the benefits of focusing on solutions rather than problems, leading to more uplifting interactions in the future. By mastering the art of redirection, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also create a space for more positive, meaningful connections. Instead of getting bogged down by negativity, you lead the way toward conversations that inspire growth, understanding, and resilience. Personal growth is the best defense against negativity. When you focus on your own development, your values, your goals, your passions, you create a foundation that is strong enough to withstand external challenges, including negativity. Too often, we allow the actions or words of others to dictate our sense of self-worth, happiness, or success. But when you're anchored in your own growth, you don't rely on outside factors to define who you are or how you feel. Instead, you have a sense of purpose that stays stable, no matter what kind of turbulence you encounter. Growth is an ongoing process, and it requires effort, self-reflection, and a commitment to continuous improvement. When you're deeply invested in becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally become more resilient. Negative people can't shake you because you're too focused on the next challenge, the next learning opportunity, or the next step toward achieving your dreams. Your energy is directed inward toward your goals rather than outward toward the distractions of someone else's negativity. The key is to prioritize your growth, even when it's easier to get caught up in someone else's complaints or pessimism. It's not that you should ignore others or dismiss their struggles. It's about not letting their struggles consume you. When you focus on your growth, you're constantly challenging yourself, expanding your understanding, and learning new skills. This growth not only makes you more capable, but also builds confidence and self-esteem. And confidence is the ultimate shield against the doubts and criticisms of others. Negative people often want to drag you down because their negativity can serve as a way to distract from their own insecurities. But if you are steadily focused on your own progress, their negativity can't touch you. It becomes irrelevant because you know what you're capable of, and you're not easily swayed. Instead of being affected by their cynicism or doubt, You can view it as an opportunity to prove them wrong, not by directly confronting their negativity, but by showing through your actions that growth and positive change are possible. Your growth journey will involve setbacks, but it's how you navigate those setbacks that build strength. Rather than allowing setbacks to define you, use them as opportunities to learn, adapt, and push yourself even further. As you overcome challenges, you prove to yourself and others that negativity cannot hold you back. Each obstacle you face becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, because you know that your growth will ultimately carry you past it. Moreover, focusing on your personal growth enables you to become a source of inspiration for others. When people see how dedicated you are to becoming better, they are drawn to your positive energy and resilience. Your commitment to growth can influence those around you, shifting their attitudes and inspiring them to focus on their own development rather than getting lost in negativity. In this sense, your growth not only benefits you, but also has a ripple effect, spreading positivity and hope to those around you. Focusing on your growth isn't just about managing the challenges you face, it's about living with a sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you're better prepared to handle negativity when it comes your way. Your focus on growth ensures that you remain centered, clear, and driven no matter what external forces try to knock you off course. Every interaction with negativity is an opportunity for growth. While it may seem challenging at first, every encounter with negative people holds the potential to teach you something valuable about yourself and how you navigate the world. Negative people often reflect their own struggles, fears, and frustrations, and in dealing with them, you are presented with a unique chance to learn patience, resilience, empathy, and self-control. These encounters, although uncomfortable, are not obstacles to your progress, but stepping stones toward becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself. The first lesson you can learn from negativity is patience. When someone is venting, complaining, or projecting their dissatisfaction onto you, it's easy to feel impatient or frustrated. But if you can pause and take a breath, you create space for a more thoughtful response. This teaches you to cultivate emotional control, to not let external emotions dictate your internal state. By practicing patience, you develop a skill that will serve you well in many other areas of life as you learn to respond calmly, even when faced with emotionally charged situations. Another lesson comes in the form of resilience. Negative people can feel like a constant drain on your energy, but every time you handle their negativity with grace, you build resilience. It's not about ignoring their feelings or pretending they don't matter. It's about remaining steady and focused on your own goals and well-being despite the negativity. Over time, you develop the strength to withstand emotional turbulence, and each experience reinforces your ability to persevere in the face of adversity. Empathy is another powerful lesson that negativity teaches. When you encounter negative people, it's easy to feel defensive or judgmental, but if you can step into their shoes and try to understand what they are going through, you'll realize that their behavior often comes from a place of pain or frustration. By offering empathy, you not only improve your interactions, but also deepen your understanding of human emotions. This ability to empathize can enrich all your relationships, making you more compassionate and connected to others. Additionally, dealing with negative people encourages you to refine your boundaries and reinforce your sense of self. Negative individuals often try to impose their emotions onto others, but by standing firm in your values and choosing not to be dragged into their negativity, you reinforce your own sense of identity. This constant practice of setting boundaries builds self-respect and shows you how to protect your energy without being dismissive of others. It's a skill that becomes increasingly important as you grow and encounter more complex situations in life. Furthermore, every encounter with negativity offers the opportunity for self-reflection. After such interactions, take a moment to reflect on how you responded. Did you let their negativity affect you? Or did you stay true to your intentions and respond with empathy, understanding, or redirection? This self-reflection helps you learn more about your own emotional triggers and how you can improve your responses in the future. It also gives you a clearer sense of what you need to focus on to continue your personal growth journey. Finally, facing negativity provides a powerful reminder that you are always in control of how you react. The more you handle negative situations with resilience, empathy, and grace, the more confident you become in your ability to stay grounded no matter what life throws your way. In the end, each negative encounter is an opportunity to learn, grow, and emerge stronger, an essential part of your ongoing journey toward personal transformation and success.